A common stereotype that is made towards Pikmin fans is that they are insane, this being most common in 2020 and 2023, where Pikmin fans posting deranged memes that barely correlated to the franchise was not uncommon, but due to the increased size in Pikmin's fanbase, this insanity has severely waned. While the sudden outburst of insanity might have seemed like a random instant of mass hysteria, it might be likely that these fans were merely following the way of the Pikmin pioneers. Enter Cory. In 2001, this Pikmin fan would literally break headlines after what he did at an official Nintendo event. This story is pretty out there, and it also has a happier ending than what you would expect. Anyways, before we dive into who this guy is and what he did, be sure to subscribe for high quality Pikmin videos weekly. It's 2001 and the most significant event of the year is about to happen as Nintendo is ready to launch the surefire success that is the GameCube. Obviously, any product needs to be backed up by an advertising campaign so the word of the product can be spread around, and Nintendo had conceived an advertising ploy that would certainly spread some news about the GameCube. In around October 1st, over a month before the GameCube's launch, Nintendo announced a contest called What Would You Do for a GameCube? The concept was pretty simple. Fans could enter video submissions onto the GameCube website of them doing some crazy activities, and then 5 finalists would be selected and flown out to San Francisco to perform their act live in front of an audience and a few judges. The best act there would be selected to win $5,000, a GameCube, and a GBA. Not bad. Most of the information about this event is from old 2000s news articles that are somehow still up after all these years. Just like our games, Nintendo fans are unique, says Peter May, Nintendo's Executive Vice President, Sales and Marketing. Well yeah, that's certainly one way of putting it. To help commemorate the launch of the Nintendo GameCube, we want to put our most adherent fans right in the middle of the celebration, to give them a chance to win one of the systems before they hit store shelves. Anyways, this contest caught 19-year-old Cory eyes and made him submit a video to the website, and his act was so insane that he was chosen as a finalist to be flown out to San Francisco. But what exactly was his act? Cory decided to model his act after a currently unreleased Nintendo franchise, Pikmin. Cory decided that he was going to become the world's first human Pikmin. How did he achieve this? He stripped down to his shorts, shaved his entire head making him bald, and painted his whole body blue while wearing a leaf on his head. This act seems impressive, but doesn't seem all that insane, but what really made it was his final way of becoming a human Pikmin. You see, not only did he turn himself into a Pikmin, he ate Pikmin food. What is Pikmin food? Pikmin food is insects.
What the fuck?
He ate insects, consisting mostly of worms and crickets. He ate around 17 insects to really nail the human Pikmin act. Might remind you that you had to submit a video, then you got flown out to San Francisco to do it live. So he didn't just transform into a Pikmin and eat insects once, he did it twice, and only one of those times was in the privacy of his own home. The other one was being seen by a relatively large crowd and was having pictures taken by the media. It would take an extreme amount of self-confidence to go out in front of that many people and start chowing down on insects while dressed like an extra for Avatar. I mean, I have good self-confidence, but even if I had to do the first bit of filming of myself eating insects while dressed as a Pikmin, I'd bitch out immediately, so props to this guy. I'd be worried that clip would be leaked and used as blackmail by hackers to extort money out of me.
I am going to become the first human Pikmin by shaving my head because Pikmin don't have hair. I'm going to paint my entire body blue to be the blue Pikmin. And then I'm going to eat bugs because this is a game based in a garden and there are lots of bugs roaming around, so I figured I'd eat some, yeah.
With an act as insane as that, you might think that he was probably a mile ahead of any other submission, but as shown by descriptions of other finalists' entries, he actually had pretty stiff competition from the other 4 contestants. I'll do these by order from least insane to most insane. First we have Jason Siller, who proposed to his girlfriend while they were both dressed as Mario and Peach. Then there's Jeffrey Hildock, who while dressed as Mario juggled an NES, a SNES, and an N64 while whistling the Mario theme song, which is pretty impressive, I must say. Second to last, there's Matthew Knapp, who painted a GameCube logo and several other Nintendo-related logos with his tongue using various condiments. The article does not specify what these mysterious condiments are, so you're just gonna have to fill in the blanks with your imagination. Finally, we have Lizzie Joseph, who crafted a 2-size replica of a GameCube crafted out of cat food, uncooked Spam, and chocolate syrup. She then proceeded to eat it. It seems a lot of these submissions are rather stomach-churning. I can't imagine eating things like these twice. All these are really deranged, but only 1 out of the 5 would win the grand prize.
As the contest wore on, it became clear that Matthew was risking a sprained tongue. Jeff really needed a little more practice. Lizzie bit off more than she could chew. Jason did have something up his sleeve.
Jennifer, will you marry me?
Oh my God. Yes, I will.
And Cory rapidly developed a taste for creepy, crawly things.
The day of the event was catalogued by IGN, a highly respected gaming news source with no known controversies. Anyways, because of this article, we know that our insect-consuming Cory won the contest, thus granting him a GBA, $5,000, and early access to the Nintendo GameCube.
While all 5 finalists walked away with the GameCube, Cory was awarded the grand prize.
And I know Mr. Miyamoto would be very proud.
Who says good things don't happen to crazy people?
IGN's shitty article, however, completely leaves out the part where he ate insects. Which, like, come on IGN, that's the main part of his performance and probably what won him the contest, you can't just leave that out. They leave that crucial detail out, but do take extra precaution to specify that he is in fact an IGN board poster. Like that has shit to do with anything. Anyways, before we continue, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel members: Marty Moo, Akai the Chirper, Carbonated Blood, Yubel, Tucker, Zack Attack, Pastable7, Heshiok Fazla, Jikatik, Textix, Extreme, Astrally, Mandel, 9Y2Y, Breadbug Gaming, Xenon, B2 Beldroid, Jalo John here, Chirno Waifu, William, and Dr. XD Buttocks 2. Their support is greatly appreciated. Anyways, while IGN did a rather sloppy job reporting the story, Nintendo World Report gave a whole interview with Cory, and if you didn't think this story was insane enough, it's about to get more crazy. If your stomach was already sick from all the insect-consuming talk, then I'd say now's your chance to leave. This interview gives us a look into the headspace and mindset of the human Pikmin. Where did you get your idea, and how long did it take you to come up with it? My idea originally stemmed from dressing up as Mario, but I figured too many people would have the same idea. After sorting through all of Nintendo's franchises, Pikmin seemed like the most refreshing. Painting my body and wearing a leaf came to me naturally by observing pictures of the Pikmin. The bug eating, of course, comes from the garden setting of the game, and I was also inspired by watching an episode of Fear Factor last summer. I thought if they can eat buffalo testicles, I can eat insects. His prediction that there would be several Mario LARPers there was correct, so he made the correct choice by dressing up as a Pikmin to stand out from the crowd. He also mentioned being inspired by an episode of Fear Factor where they ate buffalo testicles, so I wonder if it ever occurred to him or if he ever thought to eat any form of testicles for the event as Pikmin food. Prior to Pikminization, Cory gives the thumbs up. The way that's worded makes it sound like he's about to be brutally transformed into a Pikmin. According to the interview, they were treated very well on this trip, being located in a 5-star hotel, and Nintendo also treated them to dinner in a luxury seafood restaurant. All of the contestants were given extra cash so they could explore the city and buy things. With this in mind, I might actually dress up as a blue Pikmin and consume insects now. What kind of paint was used to paint yourself blue? Did it wash off easily? Luckily, this event happened right near Halloween, so it was easy finding paint. I used a cream-based face paint to cover my body. My mom bought 17 tubes of it at a party store, but it only took 7 to get the job done. The paint was washed off rather easily. It also helped that I took a shower within 2 hours of applying it. I've been pretty vague about whether the insects Cory consumed were live or dead, but this article answers that question, and they were alive. Were the bugs live or cooked? Did you have to eat them plain, or were they dressed in some way? What did they taste like? Again, my entry did not go into detail about this, but I decided to eat them live to prove my dedication to Nintendo. I ate the mealworms plain because they were easy to handle. The crickets, however, were very hyper, so I decided to add some honey to act as a sort of glue between my finger and the cricket's legs, making sure they cannot jump away. Neither of the bugs had a distinct taste, but the worms let out a splash of juice when first biting down. The crickets tried to jump around in my mouth, but the honey slowed them down considerably, making it easier to chew them up. Yes, you heard that right, he ate live bugs to prove his dedication to Nintendo. I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a product, but if you start getting to the point where you are eating bugs to prove your worth to a company, then maybe you're taking it a bit too far. At least he did have some monetary incentive to do this, and it was entertaining to watch, unlike most modern-day Nintendo fans who prove their dedication to corporations by meat-writing them on Twitter. We also get the exact specifics on what he ate, that being 15 worms and 7 crickets, which he bought at a pet shop. He was originally going to only eat 3 of each, but he overshot his goal by eating every single bug he purchased. The final part of the interview talks about how he bought Superman 64 while on his trip for $80, which was probably the most disturbing detail in the whole interview. After that incident, you're probably wondering what became of Cory Ulskaveri. While I made fun of him for eating insects to prove his dedication to Nintendo, it seems that Cory got the last laugh as he was hired as a marketing specialist for the company in around 2011, and is credited in a few games, mostly Metroid ones. He's made appearances on the Nintendo YouTube channel in Treehouse events and Nintendo Directs. So the moral of this story is, if you really want to work for a certain company, just eat bugs in front of their employees and they'll give you a high-paying job a decade later.
Hey everyone, my name is Cory from Nintendo Treehouse, and I'm here today to play some user-generated courses for Super Mario Maker 2. I haven't played any of these yet, so I'm super excited to jump on in.
Almost every photo and video I've seen of this guy is of him in his human Pikmin form, and now it just looks strange seeing him as an actual normal person instead of being lathered in blue paint. I mean, I guess it is a nice story, I guess. It's like a wholesome version of Justin Trudeau's past. Anyways, that's the end of that story. This video was originally meant to be like a 2-minute long section in another video, but I wasn't expecting there to be so much lore about this one event. It was definitely really fun researching this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Be sure to subscribe or I'll make you eat the bugs and live in a pod.